happening, everybody? I'm Trevor Noah. Welcome to The Daily Show. And not just any Daily Show. We're coming to you from the Tabernacle Theater in Atlanta, Georgia, everybody. We made it! We're here in Atlanta. That's right, baby. A-Town, Hotlanta. I love it. Black Hollywood, the place with the realest housewives. The lost city in the ocean. No, that's Atlantis, but still, same feeling. We're here. Oh, and I can feel it. You feel amazing. This feels good. This feels really good. Oh, I'm excited for this. This is great. We're going to be here all week. All week we're going to be here, right? And if you're asking why, that's because, that's how long our layover is. No, I'm joking. It's because Georgia is the epicenter of America's elections right now, yeah? Decided everything. Decided the presidential race. Now it could decide the midterms. And I know there are a few other states, I know there are, but none of them have the best food, right? So, I'm loving the food out here. Everything is extra, I love it. Yeah, you got that southern fried chicken, you got that fried okra, you got fried tomatoes. Everything is fried, even some of your politicians' brains are fried. I like that, you went too far, but I like that. The point is, we're in Atlanta, and I'm loving it. Can I tell you, I am loving every single moment out here. Everything, the vibe is different. You got good people. You got great music. Everyone here is so polite as well. Yeah, in New York, people are like, what the is wrong with you? But here, everyone's just like, bless your heart. Bless your heart. And I know it means the same thing, but it feels different, It feels completely different. Oh, and can I just say, one of the things I've been loving most about being here is how black it is. What? I landed in Atlanta. I thought I flew back to South Africa by mistake. I was like, there's black people everywhere. It's like opposite Boston. I've never been anywhere like this in South. This is wild. From the moment we land, the moment I landed at the airport, it's just black people everywhere. Everyone was black. You get in the car, your Uber driver's black. Everyone in the hotel was black. I get into the room, I turn on the TV. The news anchor is black. Throws to a black weatherman, then crosses over to a black sports reporter. I walk into the bathroom, I look in the mirror, that person's black. I was like, what? And you can feel it. You can feel it in the city because everyone complains. They're like, oh, Atlanta has so much traffic, Trevor. Have you felt the traffic? Have you felt what it's like? I have. But the blackness changes that too. This is the only city I've been to where the traffic has rhythm. You can feel the traffic. Even when you're moving forward and back, it's just it's got a little, it's like a stop and then it's go. And then it's stop and then it's go. And you're like, what what's happening right here? And you're like, oh, I'm gonna change lanes. You're like, oh no, I'm gonna go back to that lane. And you're like, what's happening right now? What kind of traffic is this? Who's gonna merge? You're gonna merge here? And it's like, no, you're not gonna let me merge? Well, bless your heart, sir, bless your heart. But as I said, the reason we're here, the real reason we're here, is because we wanted to feel what it's like to be on the ground in a state that everyone is looking to as election day approaches. Everyone, right? And you can feel it. I mean, you all live here, you know what I'm talking about. You can't even forget election day is coming. Every single ad is political now. Every ad, every billboard is political. Everything, every flyer, every spam text that you get, everything is political. It's Halloween today. I bumped into a kid on the street dressed as Frankenstein. I was like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, the real monster is actually inflation. This Three Musketeers feels like a Two Musketeers. And as you know, there are two big races, two major races that everybody's watching, right? Two major races. First up, the governor's race, of course. Yes. With the seat currently occupied by Republican Brian Kemp, who's leading in the polls right now. Yeah? Oh, is that for Halloween? Is that why you're booing? Is that what that is? Yeah, and he's running on a platform of making it harder to get an abortion, but easier to get a gun. And despite his policies, Brian Kemp is seen as a moderate. That's what I find really interesting. Yeah? All because he refused to help Donald Trump overturn the election, which is good, don't get me wrong, but that's how extreme politics has gotten in America, right? He's like, I don't think we should hang Mike Pence. And people are like, wow, this guy's got some moderate views. Yeah, he's a real moderate politician. But of course, the person trying to stop Kemp from getting a second term is the one and only Stacey Abrams. Right? Who, by the way, does it all. She writes books. She's a voting rights activist who played a big part in turning Georgia blue in 2020. And it turns out, she even has a budding acting career.
Yeah. Today, we greet the President of United Earth. Welcome. I'm so pleased that you've come.
Okay, I see you, Miss Abrams. I see you set phases to cameo. Hey! It's great. It's great to see that Stacey Abrams has gone boldly where no one has gone before. Paramount Plus. I like that. Now, we're going to be chatting to Ms. Abrams right later on in the show, so we'll get back to that. But right now, let's focus on the Senate showdown that has ramifications even beyond Georgia. Right? And it's between Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican candidates Herschel Walker. Yes. Now Warnock's campaign is focused on abortion rights and expanding infrastructure, right? But as election day gets closer, I feel like his campaign ads are now more focused on making sure that the race doesn't go any longer than it has to.
Guess who's coming to Thanksgiving?
Mom, we brought a friend.
That's right. I could be interrupting your Thanksgiving because if nobody gets 50% of the vote, there'll be a runoff. And nobody wants that to happen.
I'm Raphael Warnock, and we don't have to mix politics and Thanksgiving. That's why I approve this message.
Now, can you pass the sweet potatoes for me?
Can I just say, that is the most convincing way to get people to vote. If you don't vote, politicians are going to come to your house and hang out. Can you imagine politicians just showing up on Thanksgiving like, hi, I'm Herschel Walker. It's like, oh, hi, Dad. Wrong house. And by the way, I really need to understand it. What is going on in Georgia that Reverend Raphael Warnock is neck and neck with Herschel Walker? What is happening? Like, I know Walker is all neck, but what is happening? Every second thing the man says turns out to be a lie, right? He walks around with a fake police badge, yeah? He pretended he was an FBI agent, right? He claimed he was anti-abortion, even though he apparently paid for one. He claimed he had only one kid, even though he has like 1,000. Oh, and he told people he graduated in the top 1% of his class at the University of Georgia, and then it turned out he never graduated at all. Like, at this point, I want to meet the Herschel Walker that Herschel Walker thinks he is. Right? Because at this point, everything is like he treats real life the way we treat dating apps. You know, just like in your profile, like, I'm one of the tallest people you'll ever meet. I founded my own industry, and my mom lives with me, not the other way around. Yeah. But the bigger thing about Herschel Walker for me isn't all the lying and the hypocrisy. He's also just weird. He's a strange guy. You know? Like, and if you don't believe me, watch him give one of my favorite answers ever in politics, right? This is what he said when he was asked about the biggest problem facing America today.
What do you see as some of the biggest problems going on in our country today?
I think some of the biggest problems going on in our country today, we have so many celebrities telling people that they can't do it. Telling a lot of people, oh, you know, you can't do it. Like, you got to feel bad for yourself, feel sorry for yourself, which is sad to me because when they made it, you know, they've done it, but they're telling you, you can't do it. And it's like, God, you did it. Why they can't do it?
Okay. First of all, that was the sleepiest interview I've ever seen. It's like if Ambien had a podcast. What was that? The only reason those two should be in the same room is if Ben Carson is doing brain surgery on Herschel Walker. There's no other reason they should be talking to each other. No, because I'm sorry. He says the biggest problem that America's facing right now is celebrities telling people they can't do it. The biggest problem? The biggest problem. You think the average American right now is saying, I know inflation is bad right now, but the bigger issue is that Vin Diesel has never told me to follow my dreams. I could have owned a bakery by now. Could have been baking for family. And look, I get it, all right? Some people will be like, you're a celebrity, you're not objective. Well, I guess so. Maybe I'm missing something here. You know, maybe I am. And so if I am, in case I've been too discouraging to the American people, let me say this. In America, you can do anything. Just like Herschel Walker. If you want to be an FBI agent, you claim you're an FBI agent. If you want to graduate valedictorian, just tell people that it happened, because it did. If you want to be the father of one despite having fathered four, then by God, be the father of one despite having fathered 4 children. That is the American way. The point is, there are many major races that are going on this year, and they're really close. You know this. America knows this, all right? A week from now, Herschel Walker might actually be claiming victory. I mean, he'll be doing that no matter what, but he could actually win for real. And that's why with 1 week until the election, the Democrats have pulled out the big guns. Yeah, Netflix's very own Barack Obama. This race is so important, it even got Obama off the beach. He was down here in Georgia over the weekend, and he brought that Obama swag with him.
Some of you may not remember, but Herschel Walker was a heck of a football player. But here's the question. Does that make him equipped to weigh in on the critical decisions about our economy and our foreign policy and our future? Let's do a thought experiment. Let's say you're at the airport and you see Mr. Walker and you say, hey, there's Herschel Walker, Heisman winner. Let's have him fly the plane. You'd want to know, does he know how to fly an airplane?
Wow. Wow, really? Really, President Obama, really? You're gonna say that about a man who graduated in the top 1% of pilot school? How dare you? A lot of people don't know this about me, Herschel, but I was in Top Gun. That movie was about me. My name in the 80s was Pete Maverick. I love how Obama roasts you with like that signature swag. He makes it sound so polite, but he's roasting the shit out of you. The last time I checked, you didn't have any brains. But it was fun. It was fun to see Obama at it again, wasn't it? Huh? People always love seeing him come out. You know, gets the crowd fired up, gets everybody excited. You know, that's what you get from him in a race. You know, that's why they don't send Joe Biden. You know, you don't get the same thing from him. It's true. Joe Biden wants to do it. He's always like, I'll go give a speech. And everyone's like, no, please, sir, please. You're needed in Washington. There's a 1,000-piece puzzle we need your help on. You go on, sir. He's like, I used to know a guy named Puzzle. Yes, you did, sir. Yes, you did. Go on. You just solved that, sir. So at the end of the day, it's all going to come down to the votes. All right? Who votes? Who doesn't? Which is going to be a little bit harder. I don't need to tell you this, but you know this, because last year, Georgia state Republicans passed a very controversial bill. Right? It was a law, SB 202, which created all kinds of new obstacles to voting. Fewer drop boxes, shorter absentee voting windows, and it's even illegal to hand water to people waiting in line. Yeah. I mean, luckily you can still hand out Dasani, because legally that's considered sewage, but at that point, I mean, people would rather die of thirst. Now, Georgia Republicans claim that this bill was about voter fraud. But we all know the real motivation, right? And they say it's about fraud, right? It was about trying to suppress the voter turnout. We get it. I mean, because at some point, they even tried to limit early voting on a Sunday. All right, why Sunday? We know why. because of souls to the polls. All right? You have an organization that makes sure that they get people going straight from church on a Sunday to go and vote. And I gotta say, that's particularly messed up. How are you gonna take that away? Sunday voting was the one day when black church was only 5 hours instead of 10. But can I tell you what I've loved about being here in Georgia is watching the news and realizing that the voter suppression strategy might have backfired, because it turns out all these new restrictions are just motivating Georgians to vote even harder.
Georgia continues to see a record turnout for early voters in a midterm. So far, more than 1.6 million people have already cast their votes in Georgia, and election officials expect that number to surpass the 2 million mark this week.
I think a lot of people are really motivated for a bunch of different reasons. And I think democracy is definitely on the table.
People have fought for us to have the right to vote, so we are persistent about coming to vote early.
You know, a lot of people lost their lives for us to have that privilege to come out and voice our opinion.
I would have came out. If it was snow on the ground, I would have came out to vote. I think it's important.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The voter suppression people thought that they could stifle the vote, but all they've done is motivate people to vote earlier than ever. And let me tell you something. That's how you know. That's when you know you've messed up and you've made black people angry. When we arrive early to some shit. That's when you know some shit's about to go down. When black people are like, hey man, you're only supposed to get here at 12, it's 11:30. It's like, yeah, but we need to handle some shit first. Why are you early? You're about to find out. You're about to find out. But I just wanted to remind you, whether it's early voting or waiting in line or mailing in your ballots, everyone here in Georgia needs to get out there and play their parts. Everyone's gonna play their part. Including myself, because as a celebrity, I need to tell you, you can do it. You get out there and you vote early, or you vote on election day. You bring your own water, and if the lines are long, you stay in that line. Because if you don't, Raphael Warnock's gonna come straight to your house, and he's coming for those sweet potatoes.